Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
And welcome again to First Yahudin Messianic Temple here in Lake Placid, Florida. I am his servant, Maria Simpson, and welcome again to another message from above, a message that I believe maybe all of you, maybe some of you, maybe one of you, but I know somebody's going to be touched.
Amen.
And only touch, your life will change. Really what we need more than anything in life today is peace.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah.
And right now, I ask that His shalom, His peace come upon you. That overtakes you. Because peace, when you have peace, it surpasses all the doubts, all the misunderstanding. And peace is not a peace from man, it's a peace from Him. Don't you all agree with me that we all need peace?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to take you on a journey. And the journey that I'm going to take you is the journey of what time is. You know, the message today is titled, Stop Wasting Time. Time is very precious.
Oh,
Thank you.
Listen very carefully and pay attention to what I'm going to tell you right now. Time is worth more than money. When we are born, when we are born into this world, we are given 100 opportunities. 100 means your age. 100 means time. You are giving 100 times. Some people make it to 100, some people don't, some people die earlier. It doesn't matter. We are given 100.
it's a law.
In other words, we are giving 100 measures of time.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
Because when we are in a womb of our mother, we are in eternity. In the womb, we don't worry about anything. We just, accept it. Because in the womb of our mother is when Elohim, God, Yahweh, He fulfills all our necessities, and we don't have a care in the world. Isn't that true?
Very true. Very
Because
true.
we don't have a care in the world when we are in the womb, because we are in eternity. We are not yet born.
Yep.
Because in the womb, you don't turn age. There's no age. In the womb is a development.
Wow.
When we are born, we are also, you're just born. We don't have an age. We are born ageless. We have no age. Because we started what? We started zero, correct?
Yes.
They give you a time you were born, a time, the month, the day, the year, everything. You were born in the morning, you were born at night. But what happens is, we are given time from the moment that we are born, which is zero, until the following year, which is 1 year. When we enter this world, we enter into time. Because time does not exist in heaven. Time entered into this world when Adam and Eve sinned. Because Adam and Eve were created eternally. But something happened when they sinned that time entered. Now, what is time? Time is a dimension.
Oh.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Every time you celebrate your birthday, you are not celebrating your age. You're celebrating the dimension you're going into and the dimension you're leaving.
Yeah, yeah.
We think
Wow.
we are celebrating a birthday.
Yes.
How can you celebrate a birthday when reality is when we are born into zero? So really what we are celebrating without us knowing it, we're celebrating, we're going into a new dimension. That's why it's called an age. What it means, there's a number that you're entering. It's a level of dimension.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And really what we are celebrating is that we're leaving the dimension behind. We're closing the door to that dimension. And we're entering to a new dimension. That's why it's called numbers. That's why it's called age. A new age. And the older you get, the more scary it is because as you get older, you find out more things about life.
Wow.
Now, what is this dimension? That dimension is called time. Because the moment you are born, you can no longer go back into your mother's womb. We all of us have come from eternity because all of us come from Elohim. And He has placed us here that we are born into this earth. See, for a purpose. You are here for a purpose. Besides having children, besides getting married, besides all this, you're here for a purpose. And the purpose you have is the gift that He has given you. Stop wasting precious time. Stop wasting the dimension that He's given you. Because let me tell you this. Whatever you don't do today that you're supposed to do, and you go to tomorrow, the time that is here you will never get back.
So true. So true.
Because you only have 100 times.
Wow.
And whatever you didn't do here today, that you go to the next day to do, now you got to do what's tomorrow plus today. And if you don't, it starts adding up. That means you're procrastinating. Procrastination, we all have done it. All of us have been procrastinating. Procrastinating sometimes is a fear. Sometimes it's laziness. Sometimes it's that you don't know how to get from one foot in front of the other. But what happens with time, as we procrastinate, you begin to add all these things that you need to do, and you say, tomorrow I'll do it. And tomorrow I'll do it. And tomorrow never comes because tomorrow does not have a date. Tomorrow can be next year, 10 years, maybe next week, because you're not putting a date.
That's right. Yep.
Stop wasting time. Everything, listen, everything under the sun, under heaven, there is a season. There is a time for everything. There is a purpose. What does this mean? It means that every time we go to the next day, we're entering into a new dimension. Every time we go into a new year, our birthday, we go into a new dimension that we didn't have before. And the older we get, gray hairs, just like in my head, begins to come out. And I have earned every white hair that I have. Some people are scared because when you reach a certain age,
Of the
you don't
unknown.
think. When you reach, let's suppose, between the ages of 45 and up, you don't think the same way when you were 20.
Yeah.
And then, of course, according to the world, you're getting old. No, honey, I'm getting ripe. No. No. You don't know what you're doing. No, I'm getting smarter. I have wisdom. Not everybody that has gray hair has wisdom. But what happens? As you have these 100, sort of like dimension, 100 times here, as each day goes by, you begin to lose them. You're wasting time. And that time that you wasted, you can never regain back.
No. That's gone.
You can lose money and you'll gain it back.
Yeah.
You can never lose. If you lose your life, you can never gain it back. If you lose time, you can never gain that back.
Oh.
Your time is very precious. What you do with it. Now, how can I relate this to the normal world? How can I relate time with the normal situation in the world? You relate time through the seasons, the 4 seasons. See, the seasons is called a cycle.
Yes.
And this cycle of the seasons, which is spring, summer, fall, and winter, they don't stop. Just like your age, you don't stop.
Wow.
You go through cycles in your age. And you go through these cycles every year.
Yeah.
Now, the seasons are teaching us that the seasons don't stop for anybody. Time doesn't stop for anybody. No one. Not even Bill Gates that has a lot of money. He can never go back. With all this money, he can never pay somebody to bring that time back.
So true. Wow.
Time is a dimension. It's a spiritual thing that you go into. Your age, my age, are codes. Because in heaven there's no birthday, there's no age, there's just
Codes.
eternity exists. So your age, there is a secret to your age. There's a secret to the time that we're on right now in the year 2018. It is a secret. It's a secret code of time. And time, your time, you have in your hands. And what are you doing with your time? Are you complaining all the time? Are you just sitting down waiting for something to happen? Your time is very precious. It's more precious than gold. It's more precious than money. But time and life go together.
Time and life.
Because what is more precious than your life, than time, is your life. And what is more precious? And why is life very precious? Because life comes from Elohim, who gave it to you and me. What does the Bible says? That we're living in what times? In the end of times, in the times of Noah. Which means it's a dimension that was then, and it's a dimension now. It's prophetic, prophetically speaking. But see, he is not done with you yet.
Amen. That's right. Wow.
You want an answer to something, and he's giving it to you right now. Shabbat. It's a time of blessing. Today is Shabbat. It's a day, the 7th day, which is completeness. It's a day of blessings. Shabbat, symbolically speaking, represents eternity. Represents the Garden of Eden before Adam and Eve sinned. Look around you. Look at the house that you have, your family, your children. Look at your job. Look at your career. Look at what he has placed in you. Look at the car you're driving. Look at everything, your clothes, everything you have, everything everything you have came from him. If everything you have came from him, which it is, including your life has come from Elohim, what are you worried about? Thank him for everything that you have now. Now. Your life, your time is in your hands. And he's telling you, choose today. What will you choose? You're going to choose life or death, blessing or cursing. He has placed a gift in you. Your gift is to use it while you have time in this earth. What is your thing? What is your gift? Whatever draws your attention the most. This is my gift. I'm using my gift right now. I'm using my gift. This is my gift. What is my gift? It's to help you. It's to speak to you. To coach you, to speak to you about the word, is to speak to you and to bring out your potential. What is your strength? Really, my gift is to speak to your brain and to open your pineal gland and help you. Now that I do it, you need to do this yourself. Because this is the time to do this. In the book of Daniel, it says that in the last days, knowledge will increase. Not only the Torah will increase, knowledge has never been so greater than now. And you're complaining because what? Because what is it that you don't have?
We stuff our own blood.
You know why you don't have what you don't have? It's because you look at your lack instead you're constantly looking at your lack.
We got a big mouth.
You're looking at what you don't have, and reality is what you don't have. Reality you do have, but you're looking at the things you don't have. That's why you don't have it.
Wow.
Instead of focusing on what you do have. And let me tell you what you do have. Time.
Wow.
There's 24 hours in the day and night. Do not tell me that you don't have the time. No, you don't want to make the time. Because you want a miracle to just come out like a la peanut butter sandwiches and all that. Let it just appear. Come on, appear. Things don't happen like that. You know why? Because if we were to have everything right away, especially when you're a believer, did you know that we will lose? We will lose the faith that we have in him. If you are that type of person that you say you don't have enough, go to your house, go to your life, look at your body, look at your closet, look at the car you drive, and maybe you're not driving it right now, but you will. And you're going to tell me that you don't have? No, what you don't have, let me tell you what you don't have. What you don't have is the time you have lost. You will never gain that back. When we are 1 year old, a child when it's 1 year old, go through these stages of growing up. Now he's 10. That child will never be again a year old. Because now he went from that dimension into another dimension. And during the time of process of growing, what you do, you're learning from life. You get teeth and, you go through puberty, you get the pimples, you start changing. You are born only inches long. And you excel to feet. And you tell me that you don't have? How did you grow from inches to feet? Who gave you that? And the most amazing thing is that we didn't even feel it. We didn't feel it. Now watch this. Go with me to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse number 1. Everything in life works in seasons. seasons. Season means, just like the 4 seasons, it's a cycle. Which means these cycles of these seasons are called dimensions. When we go from spring to summer to fall and then winter. These are dimensions. But the best of this cycle is not where you came from in your past. The most important thing of this season, when you go through the seasons, is called when you are in the present. Like right now, you in order for you to understand, you need to be in the present. When you're in the present moment, when you are in the present dimension. ¿Cómo está, señora? This time only happens on earth. It does not happen in heaven. This time is called the time and dimensions. Does not happen in heaven. Adam and Eve, when they were created eternally. They were not babies. At least it doesn't say. They were created. They weren't supposed to die, just like angels. So this dimension came here for a purpose here. For you have a purpose that has not been fulfilled. And unless you take your time and do what you need to do, it's not going to get done, because the only one that can do that is you. Because that purpose and that time has been given to you. Ecclesiastic chapter 3 verse 1. It is written, to every season there is a time and every purpose under heaven. So there's 3 things. There's a season, there's a time, and there's a purpose.
Amen.
This is why in the springtime you sow seed and then you harvest in the fall. There's a season for everything. A tree that is a tree is never that big. It's a little tiny little seed. Everything has a season and a time. This is your time.
Amen.
This is your time. This is your season. Do you believe this?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I do believe it. I believe it. Yes.
To everything there's a season and a time and every purpose under heaven. And the first thing it says on verse number 2, a time to be born and a time to die. You are born with 100. In other words, 100 of these dimensions, which is called your age.
Wow.
Okay? A time to plant and a time to plow. Now look at verse 11. He, Elohim, has made everything beautiful in his time. It means in his dimension. Also has set eternity, which is the world, in their heart, so no man can find out the work of Elohim, make it from the beginning to the end. Verse 12, I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to good do in his life. And also every man should eat and drink and enjoy good, all his labor, because this is a gift of Elohim.
Hallelujah.
It is a gift of Elohim. Your life is a gift that he has given you. But what are you doing with the time, with your life, that time that he has given you in this earth? Stop wasting time. Because you will never, ever, no matter what you do, regain the time that you have lost. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting money. Stop wasting your life. Stop wasting ideas. And stop procrastination. Stop it today. Time is very valuable. The time, listen very carefully, the time you spend today you will never recuperate. How many of you look back and says, if I only had the time to do what I did, I would have done it different? Have you, and let me see your hands. How many of you have thought like this? We all have.
Yes.
Well, now you have the time, and what are you doing with it? It's called a cycle. Get ready for this. Of life in the 4 seasons.
Wow.
The 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, are called spiritual dimensions that we leave and enter every 3 to 4 months. What's it, 4 months? Yes, 4 months.
4 months.
Listen very carefully. What does the spring represent? Spring represents when you are born.
Right.
Spring represents everything grows in the springtime. This is when you new birth, born again. This is when you are born. Sorely speaking, this is a dimension that we're born. We are born in the spring. Spiritually speaking, not that everybody's born on the spring, okay? Now, spring is the east side, where Jerusalem is. The color is red. It represents victory. Why victory? Because you overcame winter. You overcame the springtime with a power, and you overcame winter. This is new life. Spring is the reawakening after a long sleep in the wintertime. What is summer? Summer represents abundance. It is the hottest temperature of the year. This is direction, and the dimension is called south. The color is white. Why does it represent white? Because it represents peace. Because it represents happiness. It represents serenity. Summer is a time of plenty. This is when you are really happy. This is when you are in your complete blessing. Then we go into fall or autumn. The temperature begins to get cool again. And this is a time of the harvest.
Amen.
This is what you planted in the springtime. Now you're going to harvest. This represents west. The color is black. Why black? Because it represents death. Because this is the final harvest of the whole year. And this is the end of the life cycle. Okay? Now, and then we go into winter. Winter is the north. This is where it's cold and ice. And this is where really there's deep darkness. This is the time that we survive. And this is time that we are lacking and we need things in our lives. So these are all dimensions. If you take the 4 of them and you make a what is called a cycle, and I drew it on the board, but I'm not going to show you that. A cycle, okay? You have winter on top, which is north. Then you have right here, you have south, which is summer. You have the east, which is what is the east? Spring. And then you have west, which is the fall. This is a cycle which is called our age, time. We go through this every single year. Okay? And what happens in this cycle, we change. We begin to change from the moment that we are born to 0. And we go all the way to 100. Some make it to 100, some make it 75, some not. It doesn't matter. What matters is there is a cycle of time that we are given. Now, this cycle is called a clock. When we look at a clock, we look at numbers. Oh, well, it's 1 o'clock. Those are things that man has made up. It's 1 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock, it's PM, it's AM. This is just to let us know really what dimension we're in. The clock represents time. It represents season. It represents your age. It represents dimension. It represents your birthday. And time, these 4 seasons never stops for anybody. Not you, not me, and no one. And the spring that you had when you were 10 years old is not the spring today. Because it's not the same age.
Yeah, you're right.
On a personal level, these 4 seasons are what I call directions of human growth. And how do I say this? Because these 4 directions, spring, summer, fall, and winter, represents our growth where? In emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. Emotional is in the spring. Mental is in the winter. Physical is in the summer. And spiritual is in the fall. For us to live a healthy, happiness, and harmony life, we must be in time. We must be in this dimension continuously changing the seasons around us.
Amen.
And when you are in Messiah, you are new creation. And where does this new creation takes place? In your mind.
So true. Wow.
Be you transformed by the renewing of the mind. Have the mind of Mashiach.
Wow.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17.
Wow.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17.
2 Corinthians 5:17.
Therefore, if any man be in Messiah, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things have become new. What is new? Every time we go into a new season. That is the new season. Every season, every time we go into a new time, a new dimension. And then when the year of that cycle, you come into what is called your birthday, you are not celebrating your birthday. You are really celebrating that dimension you just entered without knowing it. This is why as we get older, man, it becomes to be fearful and says, oh, I'm getting old. What's going on? I'm getting old. You know what? No. Let me tell you, Abraham was 75 years old when he was called.
Very true. Very true.
Moses was 80 years old when he was sent back to Egypt. So don't tell me you're old. Stop making excuses.
Yeah.
Get rid of excuses. You know what? I don't want to hear excuses. I had all that all my life. I had them in my past. I had a lot of excuses why I didn't do what I didn't do. Now it's no time to make no more excuses. Well, I'm too old. I never went to school. I don't know how to speak. Well, you know what? If I don't say it in English, I'll say it in Spanish. Si no lo digo en español, lo voy a decir en inglés. I don't care. Be yourself. Be yourself. You were not made a copy. You were made an original species. You are a different bird. And that's exactly what you are. What are you waiting for? Stop wasting time. Because time is going by. And you take advantage of it. You are taking advantage of time. And the time that you have lost, you will never regain. But I can assure you, if you start being different right now, your life will change completely. Don't wait to be in a deathbed that you're almost dying because of some kind of terminal disease. To look at your life and says, if I only was alive and I can do things, I can do things different. Don't wait for that.
Oh, so true. So true.
Don't wait for that.
Wow.
He told me, be yourself. He said to me, I'm being myself. This is who I am. And see, who I am is who he made me. Who you are, who is who he made you. Stop wasting time. The 4 seasons also represents 4 stages of life. Stage number 1, childhood. Stage number 2, adolescent. Stage number 3, adulthood. Stage number 4, senior years. And those, to me, are the best.
Yeah.
Senior years.
Winter is childhood?
Yes.
Spring.
No, childhood is spring. And then you go just adolescent. Adolescent is summer. Adulthood is fall. And then you have senior years. Winter. Stop wasting precious time. It's a very expensive commodity. It's more expensive and more valuable than money. Money you can lose, but you would always gain it back. Yes or no?
You can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that.
Stop saying that you need money. No, you need time. What you need is time. You need time. No, I need a job. Well, maybe you do, but I'm going to tell you this much. You're not going to get to where you want just having a job. You want money to work for you. You want a business. You want a career. He has placed you here for a reason, for a purpose. He is restoring your mind. He's restoring Israel. He's restoring everything. And I know I'm speaking to all of you. Receive it, because let me tell you, when this word goes inside, it begins to change your life. You begin to think different. Most of you, a lot of you look like a trailer just went on top of you and just smashed you, broke you. Come on. Come on. Today is the day that he has made. Rejoice for what he's given you. What has he given you? Your life. And life and time work together. We spend a lot of time rushing from place to place. Place to place. But listen very carefully. We're always in a hurry, like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. But listen very carefully. Nature does not hurry.
Yeah.
And everything gets accomplished. So where are you headed for in your hurriness? See, understand this. When you do this, you're running faster than time. And you're bringing things in your life that you don't want, even unhealthy body. It is particularly important that we remember that certain things, like grieving, growing wiser, developing a new relationship, only happen on their own scheduled time. This is why a lot of people go into relationship they shouldn't be, just because, and they're entering into something really bad. What is for you will never, what's for you has your name, has your address, has all your credential, and especially made for you.
And it doesn't come with sorrows.
And sometimes because we don't know how to wait, because we're in a hurry, just like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, and then we go into things, we do things that are not supposed to be for us, and we go into things, we are with people, relationship, maybe the wrong job, maybe the wrong career, it doesn't matter, because we couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Fear takes over.
That happened to Abraham.
Fear takes over.
Yeah.
Does Elohim have fear?
Nope.
See, there's good fear, and there's bad fear. What is good fear? Good fear is when you're going on stage in front of people. That's good fear. Bad fear is a fear of the unknown, that it paralyzes you. You begin to have doubts. You begin to be scared. You begin to you begin to be faithless. You begin to not loving yourself. Insecurities begin to happen. I don't know how you feel, but I'm going to tell you how I feel. I feel like a freight train. I feel like a freight train, and I got a sledgehammer right in front of the train. And I feel that I am not going 100 miles per hour. I feel that I'm going a zillion miles per hour in a good way. And I make my stops. Because I cannot allow stupid people, ignorant people, idiotic people, negative people, religious people, legalistic people, okay? Critical people to get in my way. Because what he has given me, he has not given them.
True.
And I'm going through. I am going through. I am going through, and let me tell you, because he's not done with me, and I'm going through, and I'm going to tell you, because when I start looking at my life, and I see everything that he has done, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Susie Q, and Wilma Flintstone, and Gilligan's Island has stood in my way, it says, you cannot make it, it says, get out, because I'm on a mission from heaven. Get out. You have to have that kind of attitude. You have to believe who you are. He has placed in you greatness because he is great. And if he lives with you, then what do you think is inside of you? Inside of you, there's greatness. He is inside of you. And he's telling you in different ways that he is with you. Keep on going. Don't allow people to get in your way that don't want your happiness. There's people that don't want your happiness. There's people that don't want you to succeed in life.
That's true. Wow.
And that's okay, but you don't want them in your life. Remove them. Those are obstacles. Those are the mountains that Yeshua spoke about. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you will say to that mountain, be thou removed, and it will be removed. Hallelujah. And it will be removed because nothing shall be impossible for you. Nothing. Because if he's with you, who can be against you? He's in you. And if he's in you, then you have greatness in you. That greatness you have to turn on, which means it's your faith, means it's your love, it's your courage, it's what he has placed inside of you. Stop asking people what they think of you. And why don't you ask yourself, what do I think about myself?
Asking the wrong question.
Because let me tell you, most people will tell you, well, you got a zit in your nose. And I don't like it.
You got a mold.
Yes. You're losing teeth.
You got something in your teeth.
You got something in your teeth. You got tires around your waist.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you. When you know who you are, and you know who's inside of you, let me tell you that time will work for you.
Yes.
Time will be your friend. In the right time, everything will appear. Hallelujah. It will appear. Because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
Amen.
He has given you greatness. There's a fire inside of you that comes from Elohim.
Amen.
Ignite the fire. Ignite the faith. Hallelujah. Because he's not over. He is not over with you yet. Hallelujah. Just wants you to see what's beyond the natural and see into the spiritual world. that He has placed inside of you. Hallelujah. Mahatma Gandhi said, there is more to life than speed. And I'm not talking about drugs, by the way. There's more to life than running fast. Speed, said Gandhi. You have to learn how to be still, be patient, and be open. We need to be reminded, we need to empty ourselves of pea-brain ideas, pea-brain thoughts, foolish thoughts. And we need to concentrate on the things that really are important. Why am I saying this? If you look at a pot that you're going to cook, is that pot going to be more useful if it's empty or if it's full? If it's empty. So empty yourself of foolishness. Empty your mind of foolishness, of pea-brain ideas. Because the usefulness of a pot comes from emptiness. Empty yourself of everything. Let your mind become still because you have the mind of Messiah. If you are too busy, too preoccupied with anxiety and ambition, we miss 1,000 moments of the human experiences that are natural inheritance. In other words, your experiences that you have experienced in your past are your inheritance to learn from life. Some people learn from experience. Some people learn from other people. Some people take time. Some people is fast. So whatever experience you had in life, it was your inheritance. I'll get you in a second. You know why? The seasons, the 4 seasons, is the school. And time is our teacher. What is time teaching you right now? Time is talking to you. What is time teaching you right now? We are in a school. We are all sitting down and we are what? We are right. We just enter right now. Look at where we're entering. This tonight, time changes. There's going to be another dimension. What are you learning? What is time teaching you right now? Yes, sister, what did you say?
You said my experiences are my inheritance.
Yes.
You said something I think right after that.
It's your inheritance. And what that means is that that you're learning to reconnect to yourself.
So some people never learn from their
Some people never learn. Some people die without learning. And they wasted their time. They wasted their 100 dimensions.
That's true. Very true. Very true.
We spend a lot of time worrying about who we ought to become. But we should instead take time to be who we really are at the heart. Let go of what you are. And you will become what you might be. What is more important than time? Life is more important. Why is life more important? Because life is Yahweh. Yeshua said, I am the life, the way, and the truth. No man comes to the Father but by me. So life is more important than time. And life is Elohim, and He has given us His life. So Elohim's life given to us reflects the time that we are in this life, in this world. What do we do with the life? What is the very first commandment? One of the first commandments that he says. Yeah, we know love Yahweh with all your heart, with all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. But one of the commandments given to Israel was to sanctify time. To set apart time. The feast is it's certain season, a certain time. Shabbat is in a certain time. You sleep in a certain time at nighttime. So he says kadosh. Make it kadosh. Kadosh means separated. Take time. You have to value time. Okay? And then you have the greatest expression that many say, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anybody, or maybe you have said this, because I have said it in my past.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of times.
Well, I believe instead of them saying, I don't have the time, they should really say, I don't want to make the time. What do you mean you don't have the time? There's 24 hours in a day and night. There's 365 days a year. And by the way, those are all codes. Secret codes. Do you make time to work and make money? Of course you do. Do you make time to eat, sleep, drive, to talk on the phone? Of course you do.
We make time for what we want.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Now, and why is it that most people don't spend more time with a person they love? If you go to your family right now and you ask them, what do you want out of me? Do you want money or do you want my time? Guarantee most of them are going to say your time. Because you're not giving it to me. This is the secret to Elohim when he talks about time. Elohim says, before the first day I was here. After the last day, I will also be here. And I will be here every moment in between. And so you see, says he, time as we human beings conceive of it has no meaning to me. To me, it is quite literally all the same. This is what he says. There's no past. There's no future. There's only now. Past and future are something that we have put in our minds.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no such thing as a past.
Uh-huh.
There's no such thing as a future. What's the difference between, and I'm speaking about daylight and dark night. What's the difference between Monday and Wednesday? Nothing. Only a number. Monday is the second day, according to the Bible. And Wednesday is what day?
Third day.
No, it's the fourth day.
Fourth day.
So really, the difference is in numbers, dimensions.
Wow.
Because if you look at Monday, you have light,
The third day.
daylight, and you have darkness and nighttime. We are the ones that have changed everything. We have manipulated even time. This sounds strange until you look at how human beings, without restraint, manipulate time. Daylight savings time, Central Standard Time, leap year. All these are completely made up with rules that have meaning only because you give them meaning. During the time when it says everything, there's a season, there's a time, everything under heaven, what it means is a time, a frame of mind, a stage of development, of growth. You are inside of something that you are changing. Yes.
You put 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future.
No.
No, listen.
Okay.
And you're pissing on today. If you have 1 foot in the past,
Okay.
1 foot in the future, then you're pissing in the
Okay,
present.
I will answer that, but let me finish this. Once we're done, because you know what? I need to finish this. We'll do it when we're done, okay? Now, listen this, and I'll answer your question. Both past and future only exist in your mind. The patterns that you have established there, the habits that you have put there. What are you doing with the time that you have been given? Right now, what are you doing with the time that you have been given? Where do you spend most of your time? Procrastination is your worst enemy. Why? Procrastination envies completely who you are. It doesn't want your happiness. It doesn't want your success. It doesn't want you to be in abundance. It doesn't want you to be in a good relationship. The fact is that we all at one time or another have procrastinated. And put off doing something that you're supposed to do today, and you put it tomorrow, and you put it the next day, and it comes many years and you still haven't done it. Have you ever realized what the price of procrastinating is? The cost of procrastination? It's going to cost you what is called laziness. You are going to pay procrastination with your laziness. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 9 through 11, it says, how long will you lie there, oh you lazy bum, you sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man. The reason a lot of people procrastinate is because people waste time because they are scared to follow their dreams. Wasting time is like an escape route for them. People waste time sometimes because they fail. Sometimes because they don't have the strength to go further. Sometimes because they lack motivation, or maybe they're lacking an interest. Is there something you're telling yourself you will do when you have more time? Have you been telling this to yourself lately on something you need to do?
Wow.
What else have you been putting off doing in your life, including your business? Are there things you keep saying you'll get around to someday? You will never have more time than the time you have at this very moment. You know why? Because time brought you here, sat you down, and says, now you're going to listen to what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Are you listening to time?
Yes.
Stop procrastinating and get it out of your life. Understand that time does not and will not stop or wait for anybody. And stop being in La La Land and stop being in the Twilight Zone. Time is on a mission here on earth to what it's supposed to do. And what is that? This is what time is here to do. Time never stops until heaven is established in the new earth. How do I stop procrastination? I'm going to tell you how. This is what I call the 5 Ds. The 5 Ds. A, B, C, D. This is to get rid of procrastination and move forward. What are the 5 Ds? Number 1, You must have a desire. Number 2, you must have a destination. Number 3, you must have a dedication. Number 4, you must be determined. And number 5, you must be disciplined. Desires are your dreams, your goals, your aspiration. Do you want to achieve something? Your destinations is what is your target? What are you shooting for? What are you aiming at? Remember, you're the arrow. Where are you shooting yourself to? Number 3 is dedication. This is commitment. You have to have a commitment. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be loyal to what is it that you want. Number 4 is determination. Determination is when you become a hunter. You're hunting something that you want for you. You're hunting your dream, your goal. You are a hunter. And your goal is your prey. You're hunting for your success, for your happiness, for your abundant life. No matter what. This is what your determination is, when you establish your backbone. Your determination is done in your spirit. The last one, discipline. This is a routine you need to do every single day. This is what you obey. This is your behavior when you're disciplined. This is when you become in training. Training means that you are going to look up to a mentor. You will have a mentor. And your mentor is your coach. Your mentor is going to teach you about discipline. He or she is going to tutor you. He or she is going to train you. He is your instructor. He is your personal manager. Everybody needs a tutor. And I'm not just talking about Yeshua. I'm talking about somebody in the physical. This is what I do. I do coaching. I help to bring out your potential so you can achieve what is it that you want. You have to have a mentor, and a mentor that you just don't look on TV, a mentor that needs to talk to you, that you physically will see, whether it's on the phone, whether it's on the on the computer, but you need to speak to them. We all need this. You need to see yourself as a baby in the birth canal, and it's about to be born, and you need to push to overcome. You need to push because it is time for your blessing. You need to see yourself right now coming and struggling in that birth canal for your blessing. Stop saying, I will start yesterday. I will start later. I will start another day. I will next year, in the future, someday, next week, tomorrow. Tomorrow has no dates. Do it now. Time that is lost is time that you will never gain. What is wasting time? Wasting time means that you have unhealthy thoughts. You're wasting your time on unhealthy thoughts. TV, cell, movies that are, those people, when you watch movies, they're making money. You're not. And you're sitting there and, oh no, this is entertainment. No, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. They're making money, you're not. When you can use your brains to really do something about what you want for your success. Maybe you need to do an agenda. Maybe you need to say, okay, in 6 months, planning your things, not watching, leave it to be. In James chapter 4, verse 14, it says, we can go there. Let's go there. James chapter 4. Look at what it says on James chapter 4, verse 14.
Amen.
Whereas you know not what shall be tomorrow.
Amen.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time, see? And then it vanishes away.
You can't escape. Wow.
We are just smoked. We are just
Vapor.
vapor. Smoke in the air.
An illusion.
Do you know who loves to gossip? You want me to tell you? Because I would love to tell you this. Do you want me to tell you this?
Wow.
Who loves to gossip?
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable.
When any time you want to know anything about anybody, situation, politics,
The phone.
there's only one being that will give you all the answer. It's time. Time reveals everything in its right time. And it will reveal to you what you want to know.
So true.
If you don't know the answer to something, let time reveal it to you in the right time. Time reveals everything. Time never separates from you when you are present with time. Time does not come and go like the past and the present, because the same time that existed in the past is the same time that exists now.
Wow.
There's nothing new under the heavens. What you are given when you are born, what we are given, is called measurements, 100 measurements of time. Measurements means age. If I were to ask you a question, what do you see in front of you right now? Do you see a ladder, or do you see time? What do you see? The ladder represents your life. And each step of that ladder represents your age. You need to see, what do you see in front of you? At what age are you right now? At what dimension are you in life right now, in that ladder? Out of which two of these two do you have more of? Do you have more time, or do you have more life? Which one do you have more of? Money or time?
Time.
Which are more important to you? Money or time?
Time.
Which one of these two are you taking with you when you die?
Time.
None. Because you don't take time with you.
I'll take the money then.
And which one? And which one out of time and money is closer to you?
Money.
Time.
Which one is closer? Time or money?
Time.
It's time.
Time.
Which of the four seasons, and I'm not talking about what you see, which one of the four seasons are you living, in what time are you living right now? Are you prioritizing what matters to you most? Stop wasting time. Time is continuously with us and reminding us it does not stop for you or anybody. If you knew who is walking with you at all times on this path you have chosen, you will never experience fear or doubt ever again. And who is this that is walking with you? Eternity, Yahweh. And since Yahweh is eternity, he has no time. And you become who you hang around with. Whatever he has, he will give you. Because you become who you hang around with. Is he lacking anything?
No. No.
Is he all powerful? And he is love?
Yes.
Does he worry?
Nope.
Why should you?
Yeah, that's so true.
Become his best friend. Very carefully. I'll say this again. When we are born in our mother's womb, symbolically speaking, we are in eternity. Because there's no age. There's no age here. When we are born in the earth, we go from 0 to 100, and he gives us 100 measures of time. It's called age. Every year you turn an age, you go into a new dimension called time. And when we enter that dimension, we are given a series of tasks to perform while we are here on the earth. And what is those series that we have to perform? What you're not doing right now, and you're lacking, and then you're procrastinating. What he gave you, he didn't give somebody else. It's time for you to move on. What does this mean? Every year, when your birthday, you are entering into a dimension called the unknown. Because the age that you turn, you have never been that age. Have you?
Nope.
Every age, every year you turn an age, and you're going into an unknown dimension, an unknown age. And what you're going to experience in the new age is something you didn't experience in your past. And it's for you to learn something. This is why when you celebrate a party, your birthday, you're not celebrating your birthday. You're really celebrating the dimension you just entered, unknowingly. And that means that you're celebrating a higher dimension that you just entered called time. Because no longer are you living in the past, but now you're living right now in the present of your birthday, of your new age. All things are passed away and new things become new. What does this mean? Mashiach has left captivity captives. Our spirits have an abiding place in heaven, in the heavens, and our bodies awaits a resurrection at the last day. And I love when people say, my age right now is 59. On my birthday, I did not turn 59, I turned 1. Why is that? Because every birthday, you're just adding one number to that dimension. So you're really 1. You're celebrating 1. What are you celebrating? Yahweh, because he is 1. Erad. You're not celebrating X amount of 5 years old, 10 years old, 59 years old, 100 years old. You're celebrating 1. Because now you're in one level higher. One level. One dimension. Please stop saying that you don't have time. Stop wasting precious time. You can lose money and you can gain it back. But you cannot gain the time back. Once time passed through your life, it will never come back again. Wasted time is wasted useless activities, carelessness with your life. People that are dedicated, they really excel in life, do not waste their time. They don't waste their time with anybody that wastes their time. The idea is to start now. Your reality is waiting for you. It's calling you, get up and take that step of faith. Place your running gear, your running shoe, and put it on forth. Put action in your life. Get up, get real, get going. On your mark, get set, go. Go where? Where your compass, your heart is directing you. Don't lose your hope. Don't give up. You cannot own time. You cannot keep time, but you can spend it. Everything that comes your way is an opportunity. It is a blessing. Everything that was given to us by Elohim is perfect. You are not trapped or enslaved by time. You are free to be whatever you want to be. He is restoring your life. He is restoring your wealth. He is restoring your well-being. He's restoring your happiness. He is restoring your relationship. He is restoring your job, your career. He is restoring that house that you wanted to fix such a long time. He is restoring your education. He is restoring your life from A to Z. Stop wasting time and take hold of time. Value people that are important to you. Don't wait for someone you care for dies.
Yep. That's true.
We all have been in awakes. And you see lots and lots of people. And the reason those people are there, yeah, okay, my condolences and so on. But it really is to remind us where we're going. Because when you're in awake, begin to think, wow, life is nothing. Look at this. He had a lot of money, you know, he...
He ain't gonna spend it now.
He used to be the most wealthy. This man had plaques all over. What a good human being. And now he's gone. This is where we're going. It's to remind us where we're going. That person that died can no longer have time. Because time, he cannot. Don't wait for someone to die and tell them you care for them. What is value? What is the value of life to you? The value of life is the time you give it. What is the value of time? It's the time you spend with it. The battle is not yours. The battle is not outside of us. The battle is inside of us. Inside of us.
Yeah.
The ladder of success is time. It's time. The ladder of success is time. What will cost you what will it cost you if you wasted time? If time is outside of us, then what is inside of us? Time is outside. And what's inside of us is life. Life and time hold hand and they work together. But procrastination stops life. Have the courage to live out your dreams. Never compromise. Fight until you win. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Do not resist them. That only causes sorrows. When do you start? Now. May He give you peace, tranquility, blessings, abundance of everything you desire. In the name of Yeshua, the Messiah. Amen.